This is a question that many people ask me many a time. How do I develop a strong faith? You know, faith needs to be anchored in God. Our faith needs to be in God. Faith is not always wanting some new thing or just getting another thing. Faith, the first step of faith is knowing God, trusting God, be one with God. And your beautiful relationship with God will anchor your faith. Now, I just loved what this man said. He says the only way to know strong faith is to endure great trials. Yes, you know, when you go through trials and you go through suffering and you through it all, and we have a testimony and we tell, this is what I endured, and I just trusted God that He will never leave me nor forsake me. Our faith becomes stronger and stronger. It's like an athlete who exercise and become fitter and fitter, and then at the end of the day they can run so far. Now he says, I've learned that my faith will stand firm through several testings because I've been through several testings. So how true is that? You know, when all else fails, we know God never fails us. We need to be in a place where we know that we know that we know that we know. It's just another test. It's just another thing that God is layering off me. It's just another blind spot that I didn't see in myself. Or it's just another thing that God wants to teach me truth. Sometimes He wants to teach us to endure. He wants us to stand in the midst of. He wants us to love Him in the midst of. Now, maybe you're enduring great trials and afflictions right now. Remember, the only place where you can draw that strength is in God's presence. So God will teach us during these dark hours the most amazing bond. We will learn to come closer to Him and being one with Him in a bond called love. Love conquers all. Mark 5 verse 36, he says, Jesus said, don't be afraid, just believe. Now you can't just believe and not be afraid if you are far from God. But the closer you come to Him in His presence, you know, it's absolutely impossible to be afraid in His presence. It's just not possible. It's like the mountain surrounds Jerusalem and there's peace. This is how the presence of God surrounds us. But we need to focus on Him. It says, but if you're ever afraid, simply look up. Psalm 56 verse 3. When I am afraid, I will trust in You. Faith, my dear friend, start with trusting God. Trusting God doesn't matter what you go through. And you know, to listen to me is one thing, but to walk it through in your own life and see that God is faithful, God will never leave me. I can trust God. I can trust Him with the worst things of my life. When I'm afraid, I'll trust in You. So in this trust is a place where we start thanking God. Even if there's sorrow in our life, even if there's pain in our life, start thanking God. I just love what I read the other day about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, how they walked in the fire. And I thought about that. They walked in the fire, and God said, yes, everything you face, you need to walk through. Sometimes we want God just to snatch us out, but He walks us through. Because in that journey, we become stronger, we trust more in Him, and at the end of the day, our faith is so much stronger in Him. Don't ever let your faith be according to your own strength. And if your faith is weak, ask God, I need more faith. Come, spend time with God, spend time in prayer, pray, and don't seek. May you have a wonderful weekend. It's raining in Stellenbosch, and I think the season really changed. So all of a sudden the nights are really cold and the mornings are freezing. The days were still nice, but I think today it's raining, and I think our season is changing because in Cape Town, Stellenbosch, we get winter rain. So I just I'm just thankful for every season. I've learned you can't push a season through. You can't argue a season through. You can't murmur a season through. You need to walk it through. So let's thank God in whatever season you are in right now today, in the spirit, in the flesh. Thank God because he's doing a great, great thing. My dear friend, I bless you. God's will. We'll speak again.